Okay, so I've raided the storeroom and I've picked out some iconic TaylorMade drivers from the last almost 20 years. Let's test them and see how much of a difference has actually been made. I'm going all the way back to here, 2007, with the burner driver, which I honestly think is one of the best TaylorMade drivers I've ever brought out. We're gonna go from there to the M2, which again was an iconic driver. Iconic, it really was. We're gonna go Sim 2. That was kind of that next kind of iteration, that step up. And then we're gonna go this year's brand new QI35. Guys, welcome to the H.I.T channel. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do. I'm gonna hit a bunch of shots with each one of these drivers. I've tried to spec them up as close as I can. 9.5 degrees of loft in extra stiff shafts across the board. And like I say, we're gonna start off with this. So this driver was the bee's knees back in 2007. If you look at it, I mean, there's no adjustable weights. You couldn't change the loft sleeve. I mean, it is as simple as drivers could be. Kind of miss these days, I really do. Iconic in its looks, obviously burner is a name that's been with TaylorMade for many, many years. This kind of top, almost T-shape here was the first, not first, but obviously TaylorMade had white drivers, white and yellow drivers, and all these other things. But it's kind of this time where it was really symmetrical on the top, and I really like the design on the top. And very much a shaft, a tech story about the shaft. This is a super fast shaft to help generate more club head speed and hit the ball further. Now, I'm very intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued to see what these numbers look like stacked up against the current drivers. As we go up every kind of, what's the jumps, maybe every 6-7 years or so. The next, actually from this to the M2, it's quite a big jump. But let's whack a few of these first. Let's give it a whirl. I am super excited about hitting this, and this is a real walk down memory lane, the TaylorMade burner. What a beaut. Okay, original TaylorMade burner. Gorgeous looking driver. I'm not gonna dive into any numbers. I'm just gonna hit a bunch of shots and move on to the next driver. It's a little bit toed in, that's the first thing I'm noticing. It's a little bit more kind of aiming left. I almost need to hover the club and sit it a touch open for my personal liking. Oh, how good did that feel? Solid. Really, really solid. Look at flight as well, just a nice little high draw. So, really nice. No wonder this driver was so popular back in the day. Yeah, we'll dive into numbers a little bit later, but really, really nice start. Another good one. Just seems like, I don't know, almost simple times. You know, I'm not thinking, have I got the right loft? Should I change the weight? Because I can't. So I have to use what's there. And there's something quite reassuring about that, oddly enough. Okay, let's hit a bunch more. Put it in the bag, they're saying. Put it in the bag. Really, really nice. Pretty solid. Okay, let's go one more with the TaylorMade burner, and then we'll move up. Go forward in time to something a little bit more modern. Oh, that's the worst shot it's hit. That's the worst one. I'm always, when I'm set up to the ball, I'm always fighting with that club face. It's definitely more naturally toed in. Some good numbers though. We'll save that for a bit. We're gonna now move this, the M2. The infamous.
Favorite club of all time of yours?
Probably the M2 driver.
I mean, just like the best of the best of the best TaylorMade have brought out, in my opinion. This one has definitely seen better days. It's been used a lot. 9.5, a standard loft. This is where now you could change the loft sleeve. The M1, if you remember, in this kind of track here, used to have a slidable weight, or did have a slidable weight. The M2 didn't. It was kind of a more simple idea, but weirdly more popular. And the idea with this, you had that speed pocket behind the club face to help, almost like that kind of trampolining effect to get more ball speed. Central gravity was back. With the M1, the weight was further forward, so you get a little bit of a low spin, but it was almost slightly too low spin if you remember, the kind of M1, M2 era came just after the SLDR era, where the ball was really low spinning with that driver. So it was kind of blending multi-material. You got the carbon crown, but they've kind of glossed it over. This kind of contrast on the crown as well, which was so iconic in the time. Just amazing. Now, interestingly, over the years, that white border just got smaller and smaller and smaller as the carbon crown kind of took over a bit more. But yeah, iconic driver. I just love how symmetrical it was as well. Just like such a really nice, simple design. Simple, but yeah, modern. I mean, it still looks modern now. It's unbelievable. Right. What is interesting, one of the little cheat codes a lot of these brands started to do was make drivers a little bit longer. Yeah, that's just a fraction longer. So I'm going to guess I'm going to get a little bit more club head speed from this. Sits really square. Little fadey one, but unbelievable feel. Really, really nice, like really solid. Again, we've had quite a jump there in time frame. That was a 9-year jump between the burner and the M2. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I mean, Rory recently came out and even said, what's your favourite ever club? And he actually said this club. Like, this was his favourite ever driver. He said it's a shame he can't still use it. Yeah, that was, no wonder, that was unbelievable. Oh, I mean, it's just printing fairways. Look at that. I mean, was this the peak? Was this where innovation stopped for drivers? It begs the question, doesn't it? I mean, this is so good. Have things changed that much dramatically since this? Let's find out. Let's move into Sim 2. Okay, so Sim 2, the big story was there'd been quite a few years of little changes TaylorMade. I say little for TaylorMade. So they brought out Twist Face. That was the way they kind of bulge and roll. That was a couple of generations before this. They brought in Speed Injection, where they could actually inject a foam behind the face to make it even faster, and actually move that towards the toe on this model, because the ones previous actually had almost screw ports in the face. They brought in this inertia generator, this kind of shaping of the head that made it even more aerodynamic coming down. Like, this is almost a blend of 4 or 5 iterations, and then it came to this. And also, this was the last titanium face driver TaylorMade brought out before they moved to carbon. Let's see how the Sim 2 performs. And also, something I didn't mention, this was brought out in 2021. So what we should see here, from that kind of burner to the M2 to now this, we should see gains in distance, consistency, ball speed, etc., etc. That's something I'm really intrigued to see. You know, this from 2016 to 21, it's like 6 years, 5 years, sorry. You should expect a decent jump in distant gains. That is nice. Different sound to the M2. Okay, so that's Sim 2 hit. So we've done 3 so far. We're now moving on to the latest and greatest. All of this bits of technology, all has led up to this, the current model, the TaylorMade QI35. So apart from the obvious colour difference, they went for more of a space age look this time. With QI35, it was we looked to like the 3rd or 4th iteration of a carbon face. As I said, Sim 2 was the last titanium face. They then switched to carbon face. This is this kind of new technology that's making it even faster off the face, is what TaylorMade are claiming. With the QI35, you actually see little nuances of all of those drivers I've almost tested. Like you see this kind of flared out approach that you saw on the Sim 2. You see this carbon crown that's now been fully extended, fully wrapped around. This is the standard model, so you can only really change your two weights in it, weight at the front, weight at the back. You can change the loft sleeve, obviously. I mean, it's, apart from like the cosmetics and visually, it's changed, but surely the technology has also come on leaps and bounds. Again, this is a further 4 years more advanced technology compared to the Sim 2. Okay, so looks-wise behind the ball, I mean, obviously it's got that kind of space age grey. It looks very modern. Quite a different shape to all of them. The back edge, like this back edge here, sits much closer to the ground. It's like they've curved the back at the top of the driver so it almost hugs the ground a little bit more. I'm sure that's a aerodynamic story. Right, all that being said, that's a pretty straight drive. I don't know if I crushed every bit of it. Yeah, it wasn't nailed, but super straight. Okay, so the results are in, and this was a really interesting test. Not only was it a nice walk down memory lane, certainly to hit this original burner and like the M2, what a driver, but just to see how much technology has changed. Like, is the ball actually factually going further? Is it easier to hit? Is it going straighter? I think this is a good little experiment. Let's kick things off with the TaylorMade burner from all the way back in 2007. Interestingly, I normally carry the ball about 280, or just under. About 280 is my normal average. The TaylorMade burner was average carrying 262 yards, like 18 yards less distance than what I'd normally want to see. Total distance 280 yards. Ball speed just under 155. Interestingly, swing speed was slowest out of all of them, and I do feel like it's a little bit down to the length of the shaft. It's a little bit shorter. So TaylorMade burner, really solid, looked good, felt good, slight left biased, but all in all, really solid driver. Then we jump to M2. What a driver. Now we saw a huge leap in distance, but we are also talking 9 years difference in age between the two drivers. I always think if you can jump by about 2 yards, 1.5 to 2 yards per year, you're doing good. So the TaylorMade M2 average carry distance on this review was 276 yards. Solid, really solid. 295 yards total distance, 157 ball speed, 2,400 spin, like tick, 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 tick. Club head speed 110 miles per hour, really good. Looks good, feels good, sounds good, and in this actual test, it was the straightest hitting driver. Impressive, very impressive. If you've got an M2 and you're still rocking it, stick with it. Then we jumped to Sim 2. So it wasn't a massive jump in age. It was from 2016 to 2021, so still 5 years. M2, we saw the carry distance go up, but not by a massive amount. On average, 279 yards. That kind of sits with where I normally hit the ball. 2,400 spin, 159 miles per hour ball speed. Everything again was brilliant. Slight left bias for me, but that is a little bit of what I do anyway. Looks clean behind the golf ball. Out of all of these drivers, probably my least favourite looking, but that's down on opinion. So you would imagine, as we've seen, from burner to M2, there's a distance increase. From M2 to Sim2, there was a distance increase. From Sim2 to QI35, there was actually a slight decrease. I fully expected the average carry distance to be about 282. And it could be maybe on a different hit or a different day. But on today's test, this was average carrying 277 yards, 2,400 spin, 158 ball speed. Interestingly, very interestingly, one of the straighter hitting drivers. So I definitely found I was hitting it nice and straight, but wasn't as long as the Sim 2. Wild, innit? Wild. But I would say the story around QI35 isn't about distance this year. It's not claiming to be ridiculously longer. It is claiming to be a more forgiving driver. As you can see, if you've got one of these older drivers, certainly M2, Sim2, etc., you are on for a winner because they are incredible drivers, and you maybe even pick one up second hand. It just shows that technology doesn't always mean massive jumps, leap forward, but as a trend, distances are getting further as driver technologies get better. That is a trend. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. And that was a fun little test experiment with these incredible TaylorMade drivers.